malchus shemayim than bakoshes tzrochim. And that is what Rabbeinu Yonah says in Brochas Dav Dalet. So I know what I say goes against the goan Reb Chaim Volozhiner, but I have Rabbeinu Yonah and the Mabit on my side, so I'm not intimidated. So Rabbeinu Yonah says in Brochas Dav Dalet, "Asoymech geula letfilo muftach lo sheben olam haba." Rabbeinu Yonah explains why. Because geula is Yetzias Mitzrayim. Tefillah is avdus. Just like an Eved pleads with his master, please give me food, give me clothing, give me a blanket. An Eved has nothing of his own. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu oitziyorim ha'mitzrayim al menasheni aloi la'avodim. And that is why asoymech geula letfula muftach lo sheben olam haba. Because the essence of Yetzias Mitzrayim is avdus, and the essence of avdus is tefillah, bakoshes tzrochim. And Kabbalas Avdus is Kabbalas Olam Malchus Shemayim. And the Mabit in Beis Urikim says, Odechu kol bosor yovoyu. The Mabit explains that we turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only for our ruchniistic tzrochim, also for our gashmiistic tzrochim. And that is the kavanah of Odechu kol bosor yovoyu. Tzorchei ha-bosor. And that is Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shemayim, and that is exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us. The awareness and the recognition that we can take nothing by ourselves. V'yodato she'Hashem Elokecho hu ha'noisen lechu koyach la'asos koyach. And we can achieve nothing in our own power, and it is only miyadcho ha'gedoylo ha'maleo v'arachovo. That is the most sublime kavanah. That is the essence, the purity of Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shemayim, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yes, Reb Chaim Volozhiner says all the brochas are formulated b'loshen rabin. Poshet that they're formulated b'loshen rabin, because if everybody in your family is well, you're davening for all the cholim of Beis Yisrael. And if you have parnasa b'koved, you're davening for others. And that is what
12:45.
You don't need to ask for the forces, everybody is well. And that is why the Gemara says, and the Rambam, and the two on the Shulchan Aruch, but if you do have a choile b'toich habayis, or you have parnasa problems, yes, you should ask. So, the Gro is Kodesh Kodeshim, and so is Reb Chaim Volozhiner, but I think that is not the mainstream. And what I understand from Rabbeinu Yonah and from the Mabit and Pashtus HaShulchan Aruch and Pashtus HaGemara, that is what the brochas and tzuyers are for. Yes, each and every individual is supposed to ask from HaKadosh Baruch Hu his personal needs. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy to fulfill our personal needs. Rabbeinu Yonah and Mishlei, and that is another Rabbeinu Yonah. And the posek b'chol drachecho deyehu v'hu yash or chosecho. Rabbeinu Yonah explains that a person needs to turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu not only for faithful things in his life. He's going into the desert and he doesn't know whether he'll make his way home. He's making a shidduch. He's investing all his fortune and taking huge loans. He's investing $100 million. It's a make it or break it. No. You're going to the shuk to buy tomatoes. Ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You should find the most beautiful tomatoes for the most reasonable price. That is what Rabbeinu Yonah says. People have a mistake. They don't want to be Matriach HaKadosh Baruch Hu with their petty needs. So they turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu only when things are so important. No. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to talk to him about your tomatoes. Yes. And you should turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is the real Dveikus. When a person recognizes and is aware that he needs HaKadosh Baruch Hu's help for everything, for every endeavor. Dova kotten kedova gadol. That is avodas elokim. And that is shelo kedivrei. Agro B'Shnoy and Reb Chaim Ebloshem. So I think that Rabbi Eliyahu Ragalar, when he goes to the extreme and he says, when you say kaddish on a father or a mother, don't have them in mind. You can't have them in mind. It needs to be only l'shem shamayim. It is the same mahalach. And I say, no, of course, you have them in mind. And you turn to a Kaddish Baruch Hu. In the schus of the kaddish, I say, and in the schus of the mishnayos, I learn. Yes, you should give a ilui neshama leploini ben ploini leploinis ben ploini, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that is the derech hamelech, and that is minhag ha'olam. So to say, today we discussed some different halachas. Started off with dinaninis, and then we spoke about what children could do and what people could do for others, neshamas that need our help, and we learn for them and we daven for them. And so what is the proper way and what is the proper approach? Chazal say in Divrei Torah miskayim ela b'misha meimes atzmoi aleihem. And the Chazal Ish writes in a letter, meimes atzmoi aleihem doesn't mean death. Meimes atzmoi means the essence of life. It means foregoing what most people consider as the pleasures of life. Meimes atzmoi aleihem means Yegiyas HaTorah. It means Omer HaTorah. It means what Chazal say in Perek Vav of Masechet Tovos, Kachi darka shel Torah pas b'melech toichol hamayim b'mesura tishta v'al ha'oretz tishan v'chai tzar tichyo u'b'torah ha'omer v'imatu oiseken ashrecho b'yolam hazeh v'toiv l'chol yolam habo. So many times I say to my Talmidim, pas b'melech and mayim b'mesura are relative concepts. They're not fixed. Every generation has its own pas b'melech and its own mayim b'mesura. And in our age of plenty, in our world of abundance, if between the pas and the melech there is a layer of butter or vegetable spread or peanut butter or mayonnaise, some salad, still considered pas b'melech in our day and age. And mayim b'mesura would probably include some orange juice, some soft drinks, here and then a shluck of whiskey, still would be considered mayim b'mesura tishta. But the most important thing is b'torah ha'omer, and that applies to every generation. And then Rambam writes in Perek Gimel of Hilchos Talmud Torah, a person shouldn't even think that he could be a roidev ta'anugos and achieve greatness in Torah. Those two don't go together. So there is the amazing story in Shabbos Kuf Mem Zayin about Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was one of the greatest Tanoim. And he went to a resort. And he went to a spa. Well, many Gedolim went to Marimbad and to Carlsbad. So Rabbi Elazar ben Arach went to a summer resort, to a spa. And he went to the baths. And when he came home, he opened the Chumash, Parshas Bo. Obviously, he wanted to be Mavased Shnai Mikaveach HaTargam, and instead of a Chodesh Zelochem, Yatsa Lo Hachareish Hayalibom. He confused the Dalad with the Reish, the Yud with the Zayin, the Chaf with a Beis, and instead of a Chodesh Zelochem, what he said was Hachareish Hayalibom. It's an amazing story. We know people that are called Kulam Taiva. That's all what they have in their heads. They definitely cannot be great scholars. They cannot be Gedolei Torah, but they still know Ivra. They still know how to read a Siddur, how to say Adonai Olam. They know how to read a Posuk in Chumash. So the greatest of Tanoim went to a spa, and he could no longer read a Posuk in Chumash. That doesn't make sense. So to me it is clear, no, that wasn't natural. That wasn't nature. That was an ois min hashamayim. Shlomo HaMelech, the wisest of men, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them the option, take a wish and it will be fulfilled. What do you want? And I promise to fulfill your dreams and your wishes and your aspirations. What does Shlomo ask? V'notato la'avdecho leiv shomeya. If there is a leiv shomeya, then there must be a leiv cheresh. That is not a leiv shomeya. Zeh le'umas zeh. So Rabbi Elazar ben Arach went to a spa. Min hashamayim, they told him, no, this won't go. This is not for you. You cannot afford this. Because ultimately, what this leads to is not a leiv shomeya that Shlomo HaMelech asked for, but the opposite. This leads to charshes a leiv. So it was min hashamayim. I assume that coming back from the spa, you still could talk to him about every tzos and every nesivus. And you could still, talk to him about any sugya in Shas. But min hashamayim, he wanted to read the Pasuk HaChodesh Lochem, and what he actually read was Acharei Shoya Libo, and 1,000 red lights flashed before his eyes, and he understood what the message is. This is something you as a Godel B'Yisrael cannot afford. Leave it to others. Your Torah needs to be total and pure. So this is something you cannot afford. Stay away. Your place is a bismedish. And don't ever think you're going to be losing out. Then our lot should be Omer Torah and Yegias Torah b'miut ta'anug. And let us keep our Pas B'Melech, our modern version of Pas B'Melech, to a minimal, to the minimum necessity, and dedicate our energies and koiches to grow in Torah and to teach Torah. And we should always be zeicha to learn and to teach b'simcha b'nachas, and we should share b'soides toivus, and we should share simchas, and we should be zeicha b'kol rabbi yameinu to be as Mashiach tzedkeinu b'simcha soilam al roisham b'meheru v'yameinu amen. For the late